Welcome to the TradeFit podcast, hosted by Les Clark Jr. from LCS Plumbing and Scott Rutledge from SKB Construction. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome everybody to another episode of TradeFit podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Scott from SKB Construction, and across from me is...
Oh, I do the self-introduction, do I?
You didn't do it on the last one.
Okay.
So that's why we've restarted this podcast.
It's Nick.
Nick from MindFit.
Yes, from MindFit.
There's no Les today, everybody. It is the 21st of December, so Les is at his work breakup at his lake house.
No.
Up at Glenmaggie. So shout out to Leslie. He's been putting some posts up on Instagram, so he's just sitting back observing his guys getting pissed by the looks of it.
All right. Can you imagine Les roaming in a pair of budgie smugglers?
Yep.
Those legs.
I know.
Just sticking out.
He's got the legs for budgies.
He does. I've got the combined leg for half a budgie.
Yeah, I'm not pulling off budgies. Although I have been training my legs a lot at the gym. They've definitely grown, which I'm quite happy about.
Well done.
So, not quite Les spec.
No, I've got long distance running legs.
Yeah,
that's what I've always sort of told myself.
Yeah, yeah.
To make myself feel better. So I could outrun as long as I could be ahead of him in the first 100 meters. I'd be safe.
Yeah. All right. So me and Nick just talked for 20 minutes, and then we realised that the recording stopped at 10 minutes. So we've started again, and we're gonna. Did you sort of want to not continue then, like I sort of did for like a tiny split second, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
that moment.
Yeah. Well, we'll just see where the conversation goes now. But how's your year been, Nick?
In Chinese astrology, it was the year of the snake. So whether you buy into that or not. But the year of the snake was all about shedding and endings and letting stuff go and clearing things out. So from that perspective, yeah, I experienced a lot of that myself, and a lot of clients experienced that too. So there was a lot of changes happening. So yeah, it's again, I don't use good or bad these days. It just doesn't work for me anymore. So there was a lot of amazing and wonderful experiences this year, and there was a lot of challenges, and I feel like I'm better for having been through the challenges, and just feel grateful to be sitting here with you at the end of the year and doing this.
So business was good?
Business was, yeah. It's business was, well, yeah, we just gave up the office. We're working online from home now, so it's been wonderful to work from home. Clients have been amazing. The booking system I use, I'm just started getting in there, and you never really utilise all of the tools that you've got in front of you. So I've just started getting in and reading the reports, monthly reports, yearly reports, blah, blah, blah. So that's been, yeah, and then you do sort of year by year comparisons, and there's been organic growth, which is something we touched on earlier.
Yep.
But I think next year we'll get some exciting plans, and hopefully, as we're also talking about, we can do a bit more with TradeFit and put more time and energy into this and get the annual retreat happening and the Zoom sessions and everything, and turn theory into reality.
Yeah. Yep. So has MindFit... Did you end up with a lot more clients? Like, because you're constantly flushing clients through, they come and they go.
Yeah, our business model though is, I guess, similar to a personal trainer. You know, you do a 12-week. What do they do? What are those things that they do? 12-week challenge or something.
Yep.
And then from there, they sort of just tick over. So we've got the 12-week and 12-month program, which we've had more 12-month programs actually, which has been great because it gives us the time to do the work properly. You're up really clean out the foundations and re-stump, I guess, in tradie terms. And then people go into maintenance program. So, yeah, they don't just come and we flush them out and they go. They sort of hang around and become part of the community.
Yep.
I would like to, you know, like with you and there's other people who have got themselves in a really great position and would like to give back a bit. I think there's a lot of people in the MindFit community that could help each other out or something like that. So, yeah, and Em's coming on board. Been trying to become a web developer and her IT person. So I'm trying to run my business and work on my business. Now I'm trying to help her business set up and get off the ground and, you know, upload TradeFit episodes and play golf and...
Put curtains up.
Fucking curtains.
Wreck door sills.
Oh, door seals. Yes, all the fun stuff. But, you know, I get to put on my tool belt and fix things.
Yep. Is it still up, the curtain?
Of course it's
still up.
Please.
So it's been a productive year. I'm not going to use the word good.
It's been a year.
It's been a year.
It's been a year.
Are you satisfied with the...
That's such a better question. I am. I'm satisfied with what I've achieved and the work that I've done and what I've helped clients to achieve. That's the best part of my job is seeing people come in all stuck and jammed up and reaching a point where they're like, this is nice. So I'm very satisfied on that level. But there is a part of me that really wants to continue to build on what we've done, but it's ever changing. That's the challenge for me. You know, I want to create this 12-week self-paced online program, but I can't just sit there and get all the information out of my head. You know, I've got 15 years worth of accumulated knowledge sitting in there, and to go, all right, just put it into a program. That's my biggest challenge. Like, I need someone to pull it out of me. You know, you need someone to go, oh, why is this there? Why is that there? So actually, I can bring up and out whatever it needs to be. So
you're still trying to figure that one out by the sounds of it.
Yeah. So that's where I've started tapping into ChatGPT a bit, which has been a little bit helpful and a little bit not helpful. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm just being really patient. So I'm satisfied, but I'm also keen to achieve this bigger goal. Yep. I want to, and it's just resources really. I'm a one-man band, so I don't have a lot of the resources. I don't have, I want to create this client booklet. Trying to see 6 clients a day and then work on that. You know, and then I've got 3 weeks off now, and I'm like, okay, well now I can sit down and work on that. And I'm like, oh, but I also need a break.
Yep.
I sat there and wrote a blog this morning, which was fun. It was lovely. It didn't feel like doing work, but if I'm doing that every day, I'm not really turning the engine off. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm satisfied, but and I'm content, but I'm also motivated and excited to keep going.
Yep. Nice.
How about you?
Yep. I've had a really long year in a great way. It just feels really long.
Totally sex tape or?
Yep. No, that wouldn't be. That'd be pretty short. That'd be pretty short. It'd be like, what is it, a story, not a real one. That'd be a disappointing story.
A real letdown. Quite deflating.
I could just put it on repeat.
How do people experience time differently? Like for you, it feels like a really long year, but then I bump into so many people and they're like, oh, can you believe it's Christmas already?
I still say that as well sometimes, but I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I may have even touched base on this on another podcast about I'm 40. I turned 45 a few weeks ago. I feel like I've lived my life feels really long. And I think I touched on it in another podcast where, I know it sounds silly, but if I was to get really sick tomorrow and I only had a short period to live, I'd be really content with what I've done and achieved. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
I feel like I've had a really long life.
Well, I think you've had a lot of chapters, and I think that's the key to it. I've had so many chapters, and yeah, it also I feel like I've lived 10 different lives in this one lifetime, and that's because I think there's that constant evolution.
Yep.
So what are your takeaways from the year?
So the first half of the year was really busy, and then it quieted down in the second half. Things weren't moving from a business perspective. This is not personal. The jobs weren't starting up when I wanted them to, and all the rest of it. So it gave me that opportunity to observe the things that were coming up for me in them times, and just keep working on that personal side of me.
So can I just jump on that? Because that's really interesting. Because you're talking about this professional life, and people see them as independent of one another. That's my personal life over there, and that's my professional life there. But the way that you've just spoken about it, it's like, in my professional life, there's a lot of room for personal development and personal growth.
Yep.
I can use what comes up in the professional component of my life to aid and assist the development of my personal stuff.
Yep.
So they're very interdependent, aren't they?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I don't look at myself as... Remember when... What pops in my head then was when I first met you and you said to stop identifying as an addict. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And I did.
Yeah.
I stopped becoming Scott the addict, the recovering addict.
Yeah.
I just became Scott again. And I suppose it's the same with being a builder. Like, in many ways, I'm just Scott. I build homes for people, and I have a business, and I have people that I employ, and it's just another factor of me. I honestly don't look at it like it's like I leave the home in the morning at 7 and I'm builder from then to then. I don't do that anymore, and I don't think I have for a while. It's, yes, I'm productive during the day, but if things come up, I just step away from it, the productivity, and I'm just Scott. Just fucking doing my thing, mate, and getting by, but it is important that I still need to run the business mindfully and all the rest, because it still has to generate an income and so on and so on.
But that's balance. It's called balance.
Yeah. So there's balance there. So back to the second half of the year was things weren't really happening. So I was able to observe what was coming up for me, not project it onto other people most of the time. And I made some big decisions. Like I bought, we're talking earlier about the plateau. So at the moment, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a flat line, ready for the next period of growth, which is completely normal.
And as we said, it's a conscious plateau. You've chosen to reinvest some of the money back into the business, and so the profit line isn't going up, but it's going back into itself, which will create an up soon.
It is. I had 2 really good years, which enabled me to have that comfort in that flat line. Reinvest back into the business, ready for the next period of growth, which is coming, which will be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited about next year. I think next year for me is going to be the year where all of this all the foundations that I've been laying of the business are really going to, or the what's it called, the cultivating, the crops are going to start to grow.
Propagation.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to sit back and watch that. And I've got some really exciting goals. One of them being this year, I purchased a factory in Mornington with another architect, designer, and we're working on a lot of stuff in the background. So that kind of is like a giant seed in the ground between the two of us, because I give him work and he, in return, I get work through him. So that's kind of making things sustainable, which is really awesome. I've got another guy that I've built the relationship with. Now I get more work from him. So that's awesome. It feels really comforting.
Well, it's self-perpetuating, isn't it? You get the ball rolling and take the time to cultivate these relationships and plant those seeds and keep watering them, and then you get to bear the fruit from it.
And it's taught me the word that came up before, patience, again. Just taught me to be patient. The relationships do not just grow overnight. But I learned over the last 12 months how important they are for a builder to stay relevant and sustainable. So we bought a factory down the road, which is really exciting. We sort of move into that. We won't move into it. We take ownership of it in April. That's currently being built. And then I finished off the year purchasing another property, which I will, and it kind of happened really quickly, but I used my gut instinct. I found it. I bought it. Didn't fuck around. I just got it done because I knew the long-term effects of it were going to be great. And then it got me to start looking at things from a different angle of starting to do some of my own personal spec homes. Mm-hmm. So that's what it was. It was like, because I used to put myself in a position, in a box where I'm like, there's a lot of builders around the peninsula that do spec homes and they're doing amazingly well. And I thought, I'm never going to get to that level. You're not good enough, Scott. Like, you're not going to be able to do that. And all of a sudden,
nice limiting belief, buddy.
It was a limiting belief. And all of a sudden, I made it happen. And then I'm like, hey, wait a second here. I can do this. Like, and I'm going to do it. And that's really exciting as well, because now I'm going to get to renovate and extend and do all these amazing things to this home and hopefully sell it for a profit. And then hopefully I can keep continuing to do that, Nick, you know?
So this will be the what do you call it? Not the beta test, but it'll be the guinea pig sort of thing. Yep. So you're going to flip it?
Yep.
Okay. I thought you guys wanted to
maybe like a 2-year plan.
Yep.
So I think the plan would be, hopefully it doesn't have to go to council because they're challenging. So we don't go to council. I get to do the work. I can do all of the work over the next six to 8 months.
Yeah.
We'll live in it for a while. And then maybe put it on the market this time.
Couple of years. How does that go? I mean, obviously depending on the market, but so flipping, because I drive around and see properties around my area, and I'm like, that'd be great to flip that. But I'm like, with taxes and everything, capital gains and all that sort of stuff, is it worth it?
Look, it's funny you say that because it's a crisis that the building industry is seeing at the moment, is that property values land value is too high, which makes it really hard to do what I'm about to do, right? Mm-hmm. So the short answer is, yes, you can. I'm a builder, so obviously I can renovate and build things at cost.
Yeah.
Now, it is still going to be my primary residence because the other home that I live in at the moment, I'm going to sell that now. I was going to rent it out, and that would have put me in that bracket of, if I sold that, I would have paid capital gains on that. Mm-hmm. But it's tax free, so that money, because it's your primary residence.
Yeah.
It is at the moment anyway, unless the government changes that. But
so if you kept the property you're in now and renoed that as you were going to do, and then flipped that,
I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Because it's still my primary residence.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Why don't you do that?
Because I could still keep the current home and rent it out and do what I'm doing, but this selling the other home is going to free up cash flow in a really positive way for me, that I can then, in 2 years' time, I'm in a position where I can buy another property without having to sell the current one.
Yep.
So for me correct me, I'm not amazing at this stuff and I'm still learning about it all, but it makes sense to continue to do it from my primary residence. So the next property I purchase, I've got to look at it from an angle of how much am I going to spend on it, how much am I going to sell it for, can I live in it whilst I'm doing it, or worst case scenario with the Balnarring property that I've just bought, if I need to move out, I just get a 6-month short-term rental. Mm-hmm. I just accommodate that $20,000 rent.
It's part of the profit and loss, blah, blah,
but
blah.
Back to is it worth flipping homes? It's really, really hard at the moment because I found this property, was searching for properties within a certain price range, and then within Hastings and Crib Point and all these other areas, and then I saw the little red dot come up in Balnarring Beach there, and I went, what the fuck's it doing down there for that price? Of course, it was well underpriced to get the interest. It was going to auction. But I got it for what I believe is an absolute steal because I acted on it. I didn't fuck around. I negotiated well, and I bought it. And I feel there's still a little bit of element of luck So them properties are still out there if you're patient. I was looking for like 3-4 months or something.
Yeah. But you'd also put yourself in a position where you didn't have to fuck around, where you already had finance approval and like you already had that foundation built.
I did. I had all of the finance was already in place because I was looking at buying something. I just had to wait. Nothing was coming up. Everything that I found, when I did the math on it, it wasn't mathing. It was like, fuck, I'm not going to make any money on this, let alone like yourself, who's not a builder, to make money on it. Paying a builder with margins and everything, it is really hard. But if you're patient, the right property will come up and you just go, thank you.
Yep.
And for me, that came up. So being able to renovate it, and then maybe in about 18 months, I'll start looking for the next one.
Where does that end? Because, your primary residence, that's, our women, that's their nest. That's where they like to nest. And, the kids growing up like to have that sense of security and all that sort of stuff. So where's that line between flipping for profit and keep doing that every couple of years to creating some stability?
Yep. I think for me, in my head, is maybe do 2 or 3. So kind of bounce from where I am now. Maybe the next one might be really, really close to the beach. Then do another one and then downsize again. And keep the money that I've accumulated over that time.
Well, by that time, the boys might be leaving home or something.
And now we may end up going, fuck, we'll go and live in a townhouse. Who knows? But all of a sudden, I've got all of this equity that I can go and do what I'm on about, a spec home, but without having to live in it. So yes, I would then pay capital gains on that property.
Yeah.
But at least then if you look at it from a perspective of, okay, if I can flip one home every year and make 300k, you pay capital gains on it, you're still going to walk away with 260,000 a year. You know what I mean? Look at it from that angle. So I have thought it through long term. I know that it's not sustainable to just keep living in a renovated home.
Well, it is for you. It's just not for the rest of the family.
No, and
it's not sustainable for your marriage.
I'm really excited about it because this will be my 3rd home. And the other homes I've sort of moved into, half renovated, lived within a half renovated house for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Been complacent. And this time I'm going to do it differently. That's all. I'm really excited about it, doing it properly. I've got the money now to invest in it properly, do it right. And then it's that element of, how much money am I going to make at the end of it? It's kind of like, it's exciting.
Well, it's taking steps to get to a goal that you can then rest.
Yep.
Which is that there will be a time where this is enough, where you're content, where a lot of people don't actually have that. They keep in this sense of deficiency, or it's not enough and we have to need more, I need more. Well, never have enough.
Yep.
My friends did something, I'd love your take on this. They're on the sunny coast in Queensland and they bought a home. They've put some money into it, but they've kept it for 7 years now or whatever, and it's doubled in price, and they're sitting on a really good investment. They also had a place up in Agnes as well, where we did, and they sold that. So they've gone, where do we want to retire? And they've found a suburb on the sunny coast that they want to retire, close to the beach, small 2-bedroom apartment. So they've just bought that now in this market. They'll put a little bit into it and they'll move 1 or 2 of their kids into there to pay the rent and everything. They'll pay the mortgage because it'll end up being theirs anyway. So they've bought their future retirement home in this market, and then they're going to sell their current home in that future market. So it creates this really interesting thing. I just think it's really clever.
Yep.
So it's like, where do we want to end up? How close to the beach do we want to live? Do we want to have a yard and all that, or do we want to? So where are we when we're 60? And buy that now if we can, rent it out, have someone else pay it off, and then when you're ready, if you're that lucky, then you've got it sorted. So
well, I don't even know where that 60-year-old me is, because there's times when I go, I'd be a really good billionaire. Like I'd be amazing at it because I'd have the beach house, I'd have the forest estate, I'd have the winery, I'd have it all.
Yeah.
But so then I could just bounce around to wherever I felt like. But I don't know where 60-year-old me is going to live. I don't know. I haven't really projected that far down.
Yeah.
I still predict that I'm going to be working because I still really enjoy my job.
Yeah.
I want to work until I can't work anymore, basically.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what we're doing.
Not out of necessity, but out of passion.
Out of passion. Still, like even now, booked my holidays next year and we're into 2027. Got plenty of time for holidaying and motorbikes and all of that. But I don't know whether I want to live near the beach or there's a real part of me that really wants to live in the bush and be growing potatoes and fucking shooting my food and hunting and living that real sustainable life. But then there's times when I get, that I can't confirm that.
Yeah.
It feels like a bit of a pipe dream. Could I realistically do that? And not only that, I don't think my wife would. So I've got another person here to think about.
I'm glad
it's not all about me. My wife does merely exist within my world, but she'd probably prefer to live near the beach. So who knows? In 2-3 years, she might want to go to the bush. She might have had enough of the world, this chaotic world that we find ourselves in at the moment. She may grow attached to simplifying life and getting away from it all and living somewhere where there's not even any internet, mate. I mean, I watch a lot of videos on Facebook and shit of as soon as I see a reel come up of a log cabin, I'm like, oh, here we are. Do you know when it's just the fire?
Well, you came up there. We had the 40 acres in the bush. We had the little shack. We had the veggie patch and everything, completely off grid, and it was wonderful. It is a lot of work, so you need to be living there full time. And we had that, and then we had the place back down here as well. And you don't need to go through experience. What I've learned for myself is I don't need to go all in on something. I could have the place by the beach, near the golf courses and that. And then if I want to do the other stuff, you can go and do that, as a holiday. Or you don't need. You can't live two different lifestyles.
No.
That's impossible. All these billionaires that travel around, they don't use everything because it's too much to sustain, and to emotionally you're not connected to it, and so you can have your primary lifestyle, but then do what you're doing. Go on a hunting trip to Canada, or go on a motorbike tour in Zimbabwe or something. So there's that to consider too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose that's why I don't know yet, and why I do have the little cabin in Rawson, so I can get that little fix, and that's enough.
Yeah.
When I go into that place of I should go and buy acreage up near Walhalla and stuff, I quickly come to the realisation, mate, just relax. You don't need 10 acres because then you've got to maintain it. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. So I could quickly talk myself out of that.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm content living on the Mornington Peninsula, doing what I'm doing, and just going with the ebbs and flows. If you'd have asked me 6 months ago, would I have been moving into beach side of Balnarring there, near the beach, on the 22nd of December? Of course not. I would have said, no chance, mate. I'm not going to happen. I can't afford to buy there at the moment. And then all of a sudden, you fast forward 6 months, it's happening. So I didn't know that. I didn't push for it.
There's a lot
of
stuff
happened.
you can't plan for. I didn't plan to. If you had told me 15 years ago that I'd have created MindFit and I would have been doing what I'm doing, I would have laughed and gone, how? I was stuck in my own hole.
Yep.
How the fuck am I going to achieve that? So there's a lot of things that obviously come into our life and places we end up that you can't map out or plan for, and it's all just my friends in Queensland. It's their current thinking. They've made current plans for that future, but they may turn around in 6 months and they may go on a safari in Africa and go, oh shit, this was
Just go and live.
Life changing, and so it's all done. It's not permanent, it's not fixed or locked in.
Yep.
So
I think if you're going to do like what your friends have done, you need an exit plan. You need to have thought it through to the point of, yep, okay, we buy the other property to retire in, but what in 5 years we decide that we don't want to do that? What's the growth like within the area? Where's that percentage at? If that we can rent it out, pays the mortgage or whatever, and if we do decide in 5 years that we're going to sell it, are we going to get our money back at least, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So if you think it through, and then it's not, then have a crack at it.
Yeah.
But it's the places. There's certain places within Australia where you can actually go negative quite a lot. But it also sets people a goal. Some people are really looking forward to retirement. I think, dare I say it, like maybe wage earn, like people who are just working for somebody else. Maybe they look at things a little bit differently because they're just looking to get to that age of retirement and cash in on their super.
Yeah.
So maybe they just look at things differently. But
so it's different between
maybe,
business owners and
maybe
9-to-5ers or whatever.
I think there's probably still business owners out there that legitimately do not like what they do, but they just keep doing it and they can't fucking wait to sell their business and move on.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But for people like me, you and Les, who isn't here, I legitimately think that we all really enjoy what we do. The challenges, and I think if the people that are listening to our podcasts, if they're stuck in that place where they absolutely despise what they're doing and what they're really struggling with it, then maybe it is a good time to come and see yourself, because it's not a place that you should be.
No, it's not.
Because you need to free that up. But it's going to take time. It's going to take work.
But a lot of people experience that internal voice, like we were talking about earlier, and all the reasons why they can't or they shouldn't leave, that fear builds up in their head, which debilitates them. And so they just continually learn to exist in a very unhealthy and unhappy life.
Yep.
And then it's over.
And I think we'll be talking about it on the first little bit about commitment, just the commitment to turning up to the sessions and turning up to things. And then if you're stuck in that place of just turning up to a MindFit program, committing to it, and then seeing what comes of it is going to be really, really good, really great. So if you want change, and that being the end of the year, I think jotting down, like I've done, the things, just little dot points that I've done for moving into next year. Because if I don't, and I'm just going to keep going around in circles and doing the same thing, and I don't want to do that, there's definitely going to always be that element of chaos. But for a lot of tradies that are listening, running small businesses, large businesses or whatever, if you're constantly stuck in that cycle of chaos, it's not good. It's not great.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't no one got time for that. And it's draining, man. Just get out of it.
Well, you end up taking it home, and you've got a gangrenous part of your life. It's just going to spread, and it's going to affect other areas of your life.
Yep.
So better just cut it off and move on.
I think so. Well, like at the moment, like just dealing with, I don't know, I've been caught up in the thing that happened at Bondi, and the gun reform, I got caught up in that for a moment. Oh, am I going to lose my gun license? Am I going to lose my guns and everything? And I quickly came to the realization from the work that I've done, just let it go, mate. It is what it is. I'm sure it'll be fine. Don't get caught up in all the drama, Scott, because it'll just make me angry and sort of start projecting that onto my wife and whatever, And I did a tiny little bit because I started going, this is bullshit.
Did you go and grab your gun and just start walking around the house with it?
Well, I actually went to Miles' gun store yesterday. I've got my eyes on a new gun.
Yeah.
And I went in there and straight up and went, that one. He goes, they're a good gun. The wedge tail, pump action, 223. I said, well, the new gun reforms affect this gun. He goes, mate, there's nothing to worry about. He goes, it's fine. He goes, It's just the media doing what they do. It's going to be fine.
That's the...
Because you want that gun.
It's the immediate reaction.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what I always do now?
No, don't. Tell me, though.
Please tell me.
Please tell me,
do you know what I
Scotty?
always do now?
What do
I
you
always
always
go,
do?
there's something else. It's a distraction. They want you to be distracted or whatever. So don't get caught up in it and don't be distracted, and then you'll just breeze through it all.
Yeah, when you understand things, it's or how things work, the nature of things, it's easier to not ride the roller coasters.
Yep.
And it's the nature of people to have a freak out and to go, and they it's anxiety. And the way anxiety works is we go into contraction and we try and feel safe.
Yep.
And there's been a tragedy that's affected many people, and the community and society has gone into a state of anxiety. They've contracted, and then they start, quick reform, let's make changes, because that'll make us feel better. That'll make us feel safe.
Yep.
And then, when they come back down and start regulating again, sense usually kicks back in, and we're like, okay, it was just a blip on the radar. It's our first, mass shooting in 30 years or whatever. It's we're actually doing really well. Okay,
Yep.
all right, maybe we just need to vet the people a little bit more.
De-blip.
The what?
We need to de-blip.
De-blip.
The blip.
Yeah, yep. That's a
That's a
very
word.
scientific, technological term.
So,
Oh, Travel, you still recording?
yep.
Oh, I've achieved it.
I don't know why I did that, but anyway, it did what it did. But
The universe just wanted us to spend more time together.
overall,
Just
myself
to-
personally, I've had a really, really
we can make
great year.
try just the two.
Just the two of us. Have you had a great year as well?
I've had a year.
I've had a year.
I've had
It's
a
been a
year.
great one though. Compared to last year. Compare it to last year. Just do
I
it for a
don't do
second.
comparing. Comparing's a distortion. Stop.
Whatever.
Stop trying to put me into all these traps. Last year was last year. It was a year. This year's a year, and that's not. I hope someone listening is like, "Oh, well, Nick sounds boring." It's actually the opposite of boring. It's such a deeper experience of it. I'm just here with it, and that's the best part of it for me.
Yep.
So next year will be a year.
Will be 2026.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll turn up and I'll keep putting my best foot forward, and I'll
What
keep.
car do you reckon you'll be driving next year? You reckon you'll still be in that one, or
No,
no? He's already got plans here.
I haven't. But
You just feel it.
I'm sort of decluttering. We're
Grenadier?
no.
No.
I'll just keep the Rangy for a while. She's old and ticking along, but I'll just keep that for a bit, and then I don't know. I'm looking at all. I'm reevaluating my priorities and what's
Yep.
important, and I think travel is starting to move up the priority list.
Oh, yeah.
I did a lot of it when I was younger, and now sort of middle age has been about solidifying and everything. I'll look at what's in storage. When was the last time I used that camping chair? When was the last time I put that tent up?
Yep.
Do I want to still do it now, or can I just go and rent a cabin?
Yep.
Do I need to still be
Slumming it.
I've got this. I'm an outdoorsy bloke, an ex-army, and all that sort of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but I've slept on the ground for long enough.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll keep a swag to go away with mates and TradeFit stuff. But I think I'm just going to get rid of all the camping gear. I don't need it.
Yep.
I don't use it. So I'd rather put that into experiences that I will have, not that I'll potentially have in my head.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are in that camp. They buy stuff with great intentions and caravans and camper trailers and all that sort of stuff. And and a lot of the time they just sit there.
Yep.
So I'm just being real, man.
Just being real.
So it's what do I need, not what do I want.
Yep. Whereabouts you get a holiday, you reckon? What are you thinking?
So
Where would you like to go?
Em's going to. So our daughter's in Japan for a snow season at the moment.
Yep.
So Em's friend is having her 50th in Japan in March next year. So that lines up. Em's going to go over and.
You're not going?
Well, I wasn't going to, but now I'm going to sell that. And I think I might go over for a week and play some golf, but they'll go to the snow and we'll go up and see the kids. I've never seen snow. I've got a bad knee, mate. I don't need powder and all that stuff. So it's not really, you can't play golf in the snow. So I'll, yeah, you can use that. Orange ping pong ball. Oh, you've been to Thailand. Welcome back. You're trying it out.
Something smells fishy.
And then Em's having her 50th in Vietnam.
Yep.
And then I want to have my 50th in Scotland and Ireland in a couple of years and do a couple of weeks golfing over there. Unfortunately, it happens to line up with a major golf event called the Ryder Cup that's being played in Ireland. So if I'm there, I'd love to go to the Ryder Cup, but the golf courses in Scotland and Ireland will be 3 times the price. So it's like, do I, don't I?
Just do it, man.
Well, you can't take it with you.
No.
You know? So
Just do it.
Shroud has no pockets. So that's the thing for me. It's this recalibrating and this new version of me and letting go of, I loved camping, I loved that sort of lifestyle, but we go down to a special little place in Gippsland and there's some beautiful cabins, and why not just use them?
Yep.
We can afford it. So if I sell all my camping shit, just reinvesting. I'm taking from there and reinvesting in there.
Yep. Yeah.
So
very good.
And then I might end up with a Land Cruiser one day, maybe.
Uh-huh.
I like the GRs.
What's a GR?
They got the dual twin lockers in them, and
it's a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
A 300 series.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Cool.
So.
Very nice.
Yeah. But who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? All right. Well, we might call it there.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Safe and happy New Year and festive season.
Yep.
Happy birthday to me.
When? Today?
29th.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yep.
Happy birthday, the 29th.
Cheers.
And you did say that earlier, actually.
I did.
You did.
I did. It's all right. You can forget.
Short-term memory loss. Okay. Have a good Christmas, everybody.
Thanks.
And see you on the next one.
Peace out.
Peace out.